Good morning everybody and welcome to Iridium Rock and Metal Review. So today is the conclusion, the end, sadly, of the STRYPER reactions. So I've done 10 songs so far, as you guys hopefully all know if you've been following. Been loving the album, and sadly it's coming to an end. Sort of like at the beginning I wanted it to get it out of the way as quick as possible so I could listen to it, but in the end I'm sort of sad to see, you know, to do the end, because I've loved it. I've absolutely loved doing a reaction to every song. So it's something, because I've loved it so much, I will be doing that whenever a big album comes out or something I know I'm gonna enjoy. I will do a reaction to every song because I think I've loved doing it, and I've loved all the comments from you guys, and you've really got involved with your opinions on the songs, and I try to answer every question you have, or try to say thank you to every lovely comment you guys make. I always will try and do that. I mean, the channel's growing and it's becoming a lot, you know, a lot more comments from you guys as the channel grows, but I will always try to answer every, you know, question or put a comment to every one of your comments, you know. But I think it's great, really loved it. And we're on the last song, Middle Finger Messiah. So as I said before, I'm going to be doing like a roundup, like a sort of conclusion, a review of the album, my final thoughts on it. I'll probably do that on Wednesday because it's my day off and I can get it organised and do it properly and have some, you know, some good detail in there about. I will run through every song briefly again and give it an overall score. Every song I'll probably get a score, and I'll give it an overall score as well. I'm really looking forward to that, and we're going to see where it comes, in my opinion. You know, is it going to be the top of the albums, of every STRYPER album? You know, I'm going to do exactly what I did with the other albums. I'm going to give a score to everyone, do an average, and that's the score. That's how I found the best way of doing it. So that's how I'm going to do this album. So I must say, though, like I said yesterday, some of the scores have gone up quite a bit. Nothing's gone down. It's either stayed the same or gone up. So, you know, it sometimes does that, doesn't it? When you spend times with songs and you find that one you liked, you love, you know. So that's become evident of a couple of songs off this album. Easy. So without further ado, because I'm rattling on yet again, and I know I do that a lot, and my wife tells me this, that I go on and on before I should actually play the music. So I apologise anyone who thinks that. Right. This song, actually, I'm going to rattle on again, is another one of my worries, which Forgotten Rock and Roll was a worry of mine when it was just unfounded. It was a brilliant song. This one has me worrying because, like I said, I think I said, I've heard a bit more about this song than Forgotten Rock and Roll, but only in a, not a negative way, but a controversial way, you know. I'm not one of these people to look into things like that, but that's just me. Probably because I'm, as you all know, I'm not religious. So I don't, you know, when I read Middle Finger Messiah, it didn't, I knew it was sort of, it would make people ask the question, but it didn't upset me in any way. So, Middle Finger Messiah, about 4.5 minutes long, this one, so not long, but you know, there are 3-minute songs on it. I will stop it in halfway through. So here we go, the final song, sadly, but you know, it's got to come to an end sometime. Just wish there was about 15 songs on the album. Right, here we go, Middle Finger Messiah. Sounds very old, like 70s this almost.
He's our salvation, he's our lifeline, he is the one worthy king. Yeah. Before our creation, beginning of time, he's won the crown and the ring. Yeah. Creator.
let's stop it there. So they went for it on the last song. I thought they might. It's heavy, it's fast. They do this quite a bit, Stryper, on their albums. They finish with something. Even Michael Sweet finished with Son of Man on the solo album, which was a great song. In general, when it comes to fast songs, in general, like not with Stryper, with most bands, I'm not a big fan. I prefer the sort of medium pace songs, even ballads sometimes. I prefer them fast songs. This is a really rocking song. It sounds very, to me, not 80s at all. This sounds more 70s to me. That's the riff itself. All the way through, really. It's got a real 70s sort of sound to it. Really raw. When it comes to the fast songs on this album, we're probably talking Blood From Above and this song, Middle Finger Messiah. Blood From Above has, since over the last, well, since it's been released, has grown and grown and grown on me. Even since, like, I've been listening to it properly since the album came out, Blood From Above has really shot up, and you'll see that in my scores. It's not shot up, you know, but it has gone up in my estimations. You know, I loved it at first, but I love it even more now. I think that's a lot stronger than this song. I think Blood From Above is a lot stronger, although this song is still good. I think this is, when I'm listening to this song, it's probably, for me, it's the least catchiest, the least melodic out of the whole album, I'd say. But I think it's something that was probably needed, you know, something on purpose that was a fast rocker to close the album out. You started with something really heavy and you're closing with something really heavy. I think it needs something like that, and it rounds the album off nicely to a conclusion. Yeah, I mean, it's a real decent song. It's definitely not up there with my favourites off the album. You know, it's probably, I think How to Fly was probably my lowest score so far. You know, the way I'm thinking of tracks itself, and I know a lot of people love that song. For me, not so much. It's good. Listen, I love every track on this album, but you've got to put them in, you know, what's your favourite? What's the top tracks? You know, and you've got to work out. They can't all be your top tracks. I mean, they might be, but so this is probably, you know, out of the whole album, and like I said, every song has been fantastic, but this is probably my least favourite, along with How to Fly, off the whole album so far. But you know what? Things changed as well. So I'm going to be, over the next couple of days, I'm going to finish this song off. Obviously, I can see how this is just going to rock out. Obviously, I think this one, I don't think we're going to go into Pet Shop Boys territory, like I said yesterday. It's definitely not. It's the opposite. But obviously, this will be on heavy rotation. Every time I'm in the car, you know, going to work and back, I'll be listening to this album, especially the last few tracks, the newer ones, to see if my view will change slightly and the scores will change, just so I can give a real decent, honest score on Wednesday when I do the review. So let's just finish this track off. I am loving it, by the way. It's, as you can tell, it's probably not my favourite song on the album, but they're not all going to be, are they? Everyone's going to have their... I've read a lot of people saying this, a couple of people actually, not a lot, but a couple of people have said this song and Blood From Above is their favourites. They probably like the heavier stuff, you know. Let's just finish this off. Guitar solo. You know what? I'm really hoping I hear something on this guitar solo that I haven't heard on the album yet. I'll tell you what it is after, and if I hear it, I'm going to go mad, because it's one thing I've missed that's been on a couple of their older albums, and I want to listen. I want to hear it, and I'll tell you what it is in a minute. Right, here we go. Let's just play the rest of this. Hopefully the solo will come in a minute. Well, that was heavy. That was really heavy. They slightly did what I wanted, and I don't know if anyone knows what I'm going on about. When they play a lead, sometimes a lead guitar solo, I don't know who's doing it. Perhaps they both do it, Michael and Oz Fox, but they play like a really high note, and then they use the tremolo arm and do like a really cool sort of sound. It really it's out of this world sound. They did it on Surrender of Soldiers in Command, Under Command. So if you don't know what I mean, or if you do know what I mean, just comment or listen to Surrender and hear that really cool bit they do where the tremolo arm is used at the same time as playing the lead. They slightly did it in that. It was a lower sort of note. That's what I was waiting for. It's one thing I haven't heard on this album. I think they did it on one of their later albums as well, but I can't remember the song. And I think bits like that are bits that make Stryper stand out. Something that other bands don't try, if you know what I mean. When you heard that first on Surrender all those years ago in the 80s, I remember thinking, whoa, listen to that. And they slightly did it in that solo. It wasn't as up front as Surrender, but listen to that solo in Surrender. I'm sure you know what I mean, you Stryper fans anyway. So that's it. It's all over. Sad. It's sad, but it's got to come to an end. Absolutely love doing these reactions. Please listen to my review on Wednesday, where I'll do a summary and all the revised scores and give an overall rating of where the album fell. Sadly, I am not going to be able to watch any of the listening parties. I was hoping there would be an earlier one for me. I couldn't do the weekend ones. And now the Tuesday night, which I was going to do, is starting at midnight. I'm at work. I've got to get up at 4:30 in the morning. Otherwise, I'm pretty gutted, actually. I'm really gutted. I wanted to get involved in that, ask a few questions and stuff like that. What I have done, though, thanks to a subscriber the other day, he said to me, maybe if you ask Michael Sweet for an interview, maybe a telephone one or whatever, a video one, he might say yeah. So I've emailed Michael Sweet's management company, or Stryper's management company, and asked for an interview. So hopefully that'll come about, so I can ask lots of questions. But Michael Sweet, sometimes you watch my videos, have a look at your emails, yeah? And please do an interview with me. Thank you very much. Right. Okay, that's it. And thanks for listening. If you want to subscribe, please press the red button, bottom right hand corner.